Good evening, Poetry Corner. Good evening, King's Pop Up um, supporters, supporters of the poetry show. And tonight we have two special guests on the Poetry Corner for King's Pop Up show, and it is La Perla Negra and Adrian, better known as the Divas of Epiphany Blog Talk Radio. What's up, ladies?
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Well, we finally got you two together and not being able on to be on the Poetry Corner show where it's other poets. King and myself have you ladies here so we could discuss you guys and everything you guys are doing with Epiphany Network and everything you guys are doing with your poetry and the forming of this great chemistry that you guys have. So, La Pearl Negra, I'll let you go first. Just give us some background of yourself and poetry and your journey to um, Epiphany Radio.
Okay, well, as I said in my short bio, I started writing poetry, oh man, when I was really like a little girl. I think about maybe between the ages of 10 and 12, because I came from a very toxic household. Um, and the reason I started writing, I didn't really know anything about poetry. I just started writing about what was going on with me. But I've always been very creative, so I started rhyming the words in what I was writing, and I realized this one particular thing nobody could take from me. They couldn't mess with me about it because they was like, that's just a child writing some scribble in her book. Um, and I continued to do that throughout the years until I got pretty much grown. But I stayed silent. I didn't have a voice. I didn't know my own voice until I had actually run back into For Real. Now I've known For Real the poet. That's the CEO of Epiphany since I was 14. And he kept inviting me, but because I was so withdrawn, I was like, nah, they ain't gonna like me. I ain't gonna fit in. I'm not falling in there. I was a terrible, horrible introvert. And he was like, look, because he calls me Don. He said, look, Don, you don't have to say anything. Just call in and listen. All right. So I called in, and like the second week after I called in, he had me hosting. I'm like, I don't know nothing about that, and he was like, just be yourself, go on and follow the lead of the host that's on there, and you'll do just fine. And I have been hosting ever since. He actually hooked me up with my diva here, Ms. V.I.P., and it was supposed to just be a test run, for me to co-host with her on the Love Zone. It's not titled that anymore. It's actually titled the Erotic Love Zone now. But we wind up having really, really good chemistry. And our relationship, our friendship just took off from there. And we've been like this ever since. And the ratings went up on it, the callers, everything went up on it when we got together and did our thing. And then I got another show that they gave me called Poetic Therapy, and that's every other Saturday. They also call me in on Tuesday nights for hobby shows, and it's like I'm kind of like the go-to co-host if another one can't, if the regular co-host can't fit or can't make it that evening for the other shows. And it's just been great. Epiphany is not only my poetry family, I feel like they are my soul tribe because, like I said, I have pretty much all my relationships, major part of my life, have been toxic. But this is the one place that I can come where I am completely accepted for who I am and everything about me. And that's pretty much it.
That's great. Well, Adrian, you you heard
Yeah.
your partner
Mm-hmm.
such glowing words the day that she met you. Tell us about yourself up until that point.
Well, I have always been an introvert myself. And I started writing poetry about approximately 9 years ago. I was a storyteller. Like I would write stories and just hide them. And someone had noticed my poetry, and because at first I didn't really want to share it with anybody, and it's like, no, 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 go ahead and share it. So I shared it, and I got a lot of positive feedback. And then I do believe Van Meadows, aka Poetic, saw my piece, and he said, "Hey, would you like to come in Epiphany?" And I'm like, well, he explained everything to me, and and it seems like within, like Danielle said, within like a week or two, I was hosting. I'm thinking, wait a minute, he's like a velvet steamroller, you know what I mean? Just slide. And then not even a month or two later, he was like, "Hey, how would you like a co-host?" And we, like Danielle said, we just like, the chemistry was amazing. And now everybody says I'm the sexy, sultry voice. I thought I was just mellow, but Danielle's the sultry or the sexy. I'll be the sultry, I suspect. But, but we've been going on ever since then, and it's just been a blast. It really has. And like Danielle said, we're a soul tribe. It's like, for real, like an extended family. We can call each other up in the middle of the night, and somebody will pick up. That's just how tight we all are, and that's why I say Epiphany's a family. It really is. But I just kept on writing poetry. I guess the storytelling could wait till later. But I find that the poetry is better than the stories. So that's it for me.
No doubt. I think that, like you said, the Pearl Neck, when he said to you, "Oh, you're gonna have a co-host," because of you saying your past about being toxic, were you nervous at first? Like, I don't know if I'm gonna have chemistry with this person. Like, I don't know this person. And Adrian, I know you shaking your head because I'm quite sure at a certain age,
Yes.
you got your friends, you got people that you got a niche with, and you don't want to cut into nobody. Definitely when someone else forces you to cut them.
Exactly.
So, both of y'all, one of y'all at a time, explain the like you said, the initial apprehension, and then it was like, oh, really mesh. Explain that.
When I got introduced to her, I was pretty much, because she had already had experience in the studio and on radio. I had none. Okay, all I knew was a phone number to call into and to just talk. Now, I've always been a great conversationalist, but it has always been rejected because, for some strange reason, for whatever spirit wanted me to learn, I was just made to stay quiet a lot. Um, doesn't mean that I didn't know anything. It's just that people just, for some reason, I don't know what I did to somebody in a former life. But honey, I paid my karmic debt. But she trained me. She took me in the studio and she showed me what I had to do. And talk about nervousness. I was telling her, I said, you know what? I don't know anything. And she was like, I got you. I got you. I'll show you everything. And it just, with her being as calm as she is, because she gives off great energy, it just calmed me and it helped me ease into it. And it's going on what, 5 years now?
About that, yeah.
About 5 years now. We've been doing this thing at Epiphany, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing.
Well, you said the Pearl Negra. You said the title is a love zone, but now it's called the erotic love zone. Erotic poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Explain to the layman myself erotic poetry, to how you toe that line.
Eva, you want to take this?
You mean the explanation of
Yeah.
eroticism and poetry?
Explain to me what erotic poetry is first, because I think
Well, yeah,
people don't get. They might think it's sex talk and not
right.
like.
Exactly. Mainly, it's the use of metaphors in place of all the rawness that, the slang that everybody may use in poetry. It's beautiful, it's subtle, it's more in depth than regular poetry. And when it's a particular subject, it's it makes you really think, and then it flows so much better than the regular poetry. And also the imagery. When people speak, it's amazing. You can feel everything. And then in regular poetry, it's like, I heard it all before. So, and then also, when you get someone that's talking sexy or mellow or however you want to call it, it's a real different vibe. Am I right, Diva?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Eroticism is more, it plays more on your mental. And
Mm-hmm.
most poets are into the wordplay without being so explicit and
Yeah.
so raw. When you learn to use metaphors, it taps into that sapiosexual, and
Mm-hmm.
it's more of a turn on than just saying, excuse me, y'all, but the word fuck and pussy and dick and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's
Yeah.
like, how many times you going to use those same words
Exactly.
in your pieces? Be
Mm-hmm.
creative, and we are creatives. Okay, we
Absolutely.
are artists. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a very, very wide range as far as our vocabulary. First of all, I consider all of us intellectuals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a vast range of vocabulary, and we can grab words from anywhere and make it sound like it's the best thing in the world. And eroticism, when you get into the metaphors, just like, I'm gonna give you an example. You can have someone, you can put in your piece, he walked past me and he stopped and he sniffed me and he said, "Your scent is intoxicating." That's erotic right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because it can give you the visual of the woman, okay, and it gives you the visual of the man, and you can also imagine her smell must be great. All of
Mm-hmm.
that is eroticism, and it starts
Yes.
from up here, and it just
Yes.
travels down. And
Exactly.
that's I love eroticism.
Mm-hmm.
You guys think as poets, and I'm not gonna say specializing in erotic poetry, but that's
Mm-hmm.
the name of one of you guys' shows. That you have to captivate the listener and
Oh,
take them
absolutely.
on a journey.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now that comes along with not just wordplay, but the sound of your voice, the way you breathe, your breath control, your rhythm, all of that. See, we're
Exactly.
creatives, man. We perform, and that's what we do. We give y'all a show, whether
I
you
think
can see us or not.
no,
And
I think it's very important that a lot of people we sometimes get caught up in not realizing that it's just, and I'm not just speaking of you, of just any creator.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's about the content, but along with the content, it has to have an entertainment element as well. So
absolutely,
Right.
you want to be
Exactly.
able. That's like me and King have talked about. Sometimes the person to say erotic poetry and the theme don't be erotic poetry, and they'd be like, it literally changes the whole mood of the
Yes, it
show.
does. Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
I definitely have been a big supporter of you guys, and this is why I really want you guys to come on, because I think that, like I said, erotic poetry. People be like, I don't know, I don't. Well, people sometimes have apprehension
Mm-hmm.
because, like La Pearl Negra said, words are power, and
Yes.
you got smooth talkers who know how to
Yeah, we
erotic
do.
poetry, and
Mm-hmm.
you be like all steamy after they done with their piece. So
yeah.
King,
Yeah.
you ain't talking tonight?
No, I was just letting you, do what you do
No,
when I.
they here, man.
No, I know. I'm just holding back a little bit.
Could I reiterate on something that you were saying, Q?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, going back to what you were just talking about some people are apprehensive. It can be a little intimidating to talk in erotic terms because a lot of people don't understand that it's not just sex talk. Okay,
Exactly.
it's giving you ideas and visuals to play with that may stimulate you a certain way. You never know what turns a person on. Okay, it could be a smell, it could be a color, it could
Yes.
be the wind, the way it caresses your skin. It could be fall of her hair across her shoulder. It could be, the way his clothes hang on him. We can turn our own selves on, okay, depending on how you feel about yourself. So it's everything. Eroticism is in everything. It isn't just sex talk. And that's why I think a lot of people are apprehensive about it. And that's it.
I'm gonna ask you guys a question before y'all start. Y'all gonna give us some poetry, but I want to ask you guys a crazy question.
Okay.
You ever had any crazy supporters and I heard y'all spit a piece and now they extra trying to find out who you are?
That would be my diva. Yep.
Okay, I have this section of my social media that I call the block party. Okay, because I have all kinds of folks coming in my inbox, men and women. Okay, saying I'm not even gonna say some of the stuff that they said to me. And I've had poets that you guys know of proposition me on the air, okay, and it threw me off. And my inbox is just is bananas, okay. So yeah, I've had to block some of those poets and break contact with them because I'm like, you know what? Another thing, when I first came to Epiphany, David Mott was listening to my poems, and I started out with erotic poetry, but I'm a storyteller as well. I don't just get into, and always smell this way. I start from like, it was a long day, and he came home from work, and I was in the kitchen cooking. I give you a build up, and these people, David Mott would say things like, you gonna have all kinds of strange niggas in your inbox talking about, I miss you, and you don't even know it. And he was not lying. I laughed at it then, but it ain't funny now. It ain't funny because he wasn't lying.
I would assume that would be, not only offensive, but even as a woman who know the power of words, and then it's like you coming at me and you can't even exercise my brain. Like you said, lapel negative, sapiosexual. Like you can't even hold a good conversation, let alone becoming inappropriate. Like, and it makes you want to give the messenger, definitely on Facebook. It makes you want to like,
crazy, unsolicited pictures and videos and phone calls, and I'm like, I can't even answer certain things if I'm in public because I never know what I'm going to get.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
So before, I just got one more question because King is not asking any questions. King is being quiet right now. Right? If you guys could do anything with Epiphany, and not in a bad way, but like just get more people to listen, get more people to understand what's going on, get more people to understand the vision of you guys' art. What would it be like? How would you like? You stop everybody and be like, you got to listen today. What would you do? What would you do if you just change something right now?
Hmm. Wouldn't so much change anything, but I would advertise more. I would promote more so. I'm a talker. And people like talking to me, and I talk that shit. Okay, I like to make people laugh, and they usually find that they're drawn to me with that.
Mhm.
So I would like emphasize on that more so than anything else. But other than that, I think Epiphany is great. We have our good weeks, we have our bad weeks. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. You can't always be up. So,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
I have a
Adrian,
question for
Adrian.
you.
Oh,
Yes,
go ahead. King, go
So,
ahead.
exactly.
so
Go ahead, King.
do you think? No, I'm just trying to get a train of thought. Do you think some people are scared to go in that lane of writing, whether it's erotic poetry or sensual
Hmm.
pieces?
Hmm.
And,
Absolutely.
and why do you think that? Like,
Hmm.
do you believe
Hmm.
that they might feel like they open themselves up or something, or like,
Hmm.
Diva, you want to take it? Because you know how I am. I'll keep on. You
Mm.
better go ahead.
Well, yes, yes. I think some just don't know how to be sensual. Okay, some don't know how to use the metaphors, and they don't know how. Like, for instance, they can be good in one genre and strong in that genre, and then try to come over in another one and totally flop. And so you have to really make sure before you come to something that's not your forte, study it, listen. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why people are a little, a little intimidated or however. But, like, if you will, we're not just erotic writers. We're not just erotic poets. We have our range, but we're good where we are. We're great where we are. But then once in a while you get a good prompt or you get a good topic and you can go anywhere you want to. But not all can do that. So that's it.
yeah, I had to, the pearl.
It's for one, it can be very, very intimidating for people to put themselves out there. When you're an artist, some people are not prepared for criticism or opinions or judgment. Um, and they know that they're going to get
Mm-hmm.
this, so they stay
Absolutely.
kind of withdrawn and fall back. Um, and when they finally get out there, um, they have expectations. This is why I don't build up my expectations about anything. It's like if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. It's not going. I'll never put my pen down. But it can be almost it can the fear of putting yourself out there can make you freeze up and never put yourself out there. Okay, because it isn't easy. Even if even if you're not speaking, you're not spitting it, just writing it and letting someone read it, you still are subjecting yourself to criticism and judgment and opinions of others. And some people are not prepared to deal with that. They want a pretty little lie,
Absolutely.
or they want to
Absolutely.
stay under an umbrella of protection where people have always said, oh, you did good, this and this and this and that. And we're not always good. It's going to always be somebody out there that really truly does not like what they heard, or how we presented ourselves or our opinions. You got let me tell you something. You got to have thick skin, and you got to understand them scars that you got on your skin is there's room for more scars to be made. Okay, you're going to get hurt. You're going to feel some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
You got to toughen up, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I know for me, that's why I created the alter ego. You got King or you got Lord. You know what I mean? Lord just don't care. He'll go any direction, whatever it is. King is just more laid back and just, more settled and sensually, So, but that's just me. I like to challenge my thing.
But Perla, it's amazing that you just said that, because you're a self-proclaimed introvert, and you stepped into a space that, because you're a co-host, you're inviting other people to come on. People are seeing a side of you that maybe you didn't even realize that you had.
Right.
And then being able, like you said, being able to accept criticism, give criticism. As King would say, getting other artists to really get your pen sharp. Understanding you may like something, but it doesn't come off well to the listener.
Right.
And I think that's some very good advice you gave myself and other poets, because a lot of times we do tend to get comfortable in our comfort zone and don't want to accept the type of criticism that we really need to grow.
Oh yeah, people become complacent, and then that is when they really, really, when their eyes are opened or they get knocked down off that high horse. They really, they fall harder than you would if you are expecting criticism. I always expect somebody to say something, someone to have an opinion, and I welcome it. That's way it don't damage me no more. It doesn't bother me anymore. What may irk me a little bit is complete and total silence, no reaction whatsoever. Now I'm like, all right, I won't come back here because y'all just ain't got nothing for me.
It's a phrase that I always say about, and it's okay to be this way. Sometimes we could be a little dry, and you be like, "Damn, you ain't giving me no reaction. Say something, cuss me out, do something."
Make a noise, breathe heavy or something, right?
So, without further ado, I'm quite sure that you guys have some stuff. And I would like to hear, I got the greatest seat in the house, so.
You can go first, I guess.
Adrian, can you hear us? I can't hear her.
I don't think she can hear us.
I'm sorry, Q. You ready for us to recite something?
Yeah. We got you on a delay for some reason, Adrian. You could hear us a little, 15 seconds later.
All right. I think I'm going to start off with a semi-conscious piece, okay? This is called...
So, hold on.
Yeah. I can. But there's a lot of feedback.
There's a delay on your end.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it seems that way. But I can start it. This piece is called I've Got So Much Trouble on My Mind. Alright. I've got so much trouble on my mind. People are killing us just for sport. Roe versus Wade gets overturned. People thinking they can tell women, children what to do in cases of rape, incest, or ectopic pregnancy. They cannot abort. I got so much trouble on my mind. Climate change is happening. The universe is in heat. People polluting in the oceans, trash in the street. Now there's a hole in the ozone. There's an outcry for Congress to do something. Using fossil fuels are at a all-time high. They're non-renewable resources. We have to change. Only one or a few people can't do it. Alone, they can't. I got so much trouble on my mind. I can't sleep at night. People playing loud music, racing the cars up and down the road, tires squealing, people screaming, arguing. Drugs are so easy to be found. Needles and condoms flood the streets. People overdosing daily. Sometimes it's too late when Narcan comes around. I got so much trouble on my mind. The homeless numbers increase every day. Coming to cars begging for change, they say. My granddaughter is so sad. Their lives are so hard. She wants to help them. And I tell her the United States keeps helping other countries, but can't take care of what's in their own backyard. I got so much trouble on my mind. What happened to unity? What happened? Black lives matter. All lives matter. But why are there still sundown neighborhoods? There needs to be more gun control, but it's not the guns, it's the people that use them. Racism is so blatant. Why the hate? The KKK might as well remove their hoods. We know who they are. I got so much trouble on my mind. Peace and quiet I need to find. I have to go within, because the world isn't getting any better. But I am determined to win. And that's that piece.
Diva.
All right.
All right. That's what's up. Like that. Really, really like
That
that.
was real good.
All right. Got me wanting to do a political piece, but I'm gonna do something to just uplift my sisters a little bit. This is called Black Woman, We See You. Black Queen, I found your crown. Where did you go? Have you turned the corner leading to lost and turned away because they didn't acquiesce to your... Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me start over. Black Queen, I found your crown. Where did you go? Have you turned the corner leading to lost and turned away because they didn't acquiesce once again to your demands for just the fairness and respect of the day? Head held down in shame because hand smacked by life had you believing your richness was to blame. Our first teacher, Queen, look up and see. Your children are still waiting by the learning tree. Hold your head up and give me your hand. I am your sister. And I promise you, Black woman, I will not let you fall if you start to trip when you go to take a stand. Black woman, where have you gone? Are you blindly still searching for love with a soul that can rectify from a spirit that forgives because it's all that you hold within? You are the direct connection to the Creator, blessed and highly favored. You are love. So wipe off the mirror of your soul so you can see what we see and set yourself free, Queen. Black woman, if you want to know what we see when we look at you, we see how you are naturally protective, like the gold poured over precious metals. We see, I'm sorry, yeah. We see your natural ability to calm, soothe, and heal us like the restorative properties in honey. We have clarity from your natural ability to make sense, like pristine waters of a flowing spring. And we see the strength you possess to endure the darkness and pressure from life, like a diamond. Shine on, Queen. Sister, look at me. And know that the true you is what we value and still see. The epitome of what Mother Earth herself embodies. You were meant to nurture this life with dignity, joy, and pride. Skin blessed in 1,000 hues, brown skin, girl, you have no reason to hide. Because happiness is your birthright. We've needed you before we took our first breath into this earthly plane. Sister Soulful, Righteous Queen, the First Lady of Creative Originality, our healer. Realize how vital you are to our existence. Black woman, we see you. So hold your head up high and grace us once again with your presence. And that's that piece. Thank you.
All right.
My alarm was going off, so I hope y'all didn't get too much disruption in that.
No, no, you were good. You were good.
Okay.
You were good. King, you quiet tonight?
Oh, y'all ain't expect me.
Yeah.
They gonna spit pieces on like, you know what I mean? But I mean, I want them to get to the Gideon. You know what I mean?
You want
I
something? You
love
want
my conscious
something?
pieces, but you know, I'm there's some diversity with me. What I like to hear.
Okay.
So, ladies, the floor is yours.
Okay, Divas, your turn.
Mhm. All right. This is a short piece called My Key of Love. I find it incredible that within 1 month I have smiled, blushed, and fell head over heels in the key of love with you. Whatever I sing, whatever I do, when we look into each other's eyes, my heart beats in the key of love with you. My mama says I'm in trouble, but it's a good one. Real, transparent, and illicit. The laughter we share, the intimacy is amazing. We don't have to ask each other about the hows or the whys or what to do with it. You love me. I saw it in your eyes. I cried inside when I felt it. It came in the key of love. It came in the first hug we had. It came in the first sunrise we shared. It came in a peaceful groove. It came in an aura of blue. It came in the key of love with you. And that's that piece.
Nice.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Key of
Definitely
love.
was.
Thank you.
I want to ask you guys a question. Do you when you're writing and
Mm-hmm.
then when you recite it, do you feel like sometimes writing
Mm-hmm.
it hurts the way that you really want to recite it? Like you could say it in your head, and then do you guys write everything that every poem?
Hmm, I do. I do. Um, no, I don't think the writing bother. I think my flow sometimes doesn't come out the way I want it to, and that messes with me. Um, I really haven't had any uh, bad critique, um, really ever, but I feel like sometimes I'm not good enough.
Mm.
Okay, but I get a lot of positive feedback, and we are our own worst enemies. We are our own worst critics. Okay, we can't nobody tear us down like we tear ourselves down. We will pick ourselves apart. Okay, to the point where people don't see what we see. Um, but that's pretty much it. Even though I do get a lot of positive feedback, I feel like there's always room for improvement. Always.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to know because sometimes I know a lot of people be writing and as King said, how does a poet get writer's block? How do you
Yeah.
run out of? How do you not have nothing to say? So that's always interesting. That's why I asked the question.
There is no such thing as writer's block. There's just things that we don't want to say.
Mm.
We don't want heard. But you never run out of things to say. You know why? Because you're always thinking. It don't matter what you're doing. You're always thinking. That's it.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
one question.
King.
Do when you're getting into those pieces, right? Do you find a muse
Do I
to
find a
get into?
muse?
Yeah, when you a muse, like
Oh,
who inspired you to write that? Like, oh, if there's a prompt or something like that, like you like, I want to
yeah.
write this piece. Do you think about somebody and be like, you know what? If that was let me put him in that picture. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I thought it was probably
Most
just male
definitely.
poets. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
there are many
oh,
muses, and I agree. If it, you know what, it can come in any form. It can be an object, but most of the time, I find it's a person. That's what if I'm in love with somebody, I write as a woman in love. If I'm, like, say, matriculating someplace, then I'll write about every subject and either like it or love it. Or if I'm feeling, let's just say, murderous, I'll kill you in a piece. So it's either a thing or it's a person. Am I right, Diva?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I my muse sometimes is me. It's my mind more so than anything because I have such a vivid imagination. Um, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
my what inspires me is just things in life. Period. Inside. I'm a hippie. Okay, I am a tree hugger. Believe me. Um, so a lot of things with nature inspires me. The sound of the breeze blowing through the trees, the smell that's in the air, the water in the ocean, the way he walks. It could be, I mean, just anything, and I will pull out my pen and start writing. Anything. It's no one particular thing. Life is my muse. Period.
okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. But
Mm-hmm.
you have any ladies have any other pieces to recite?
I got something. I don't know if I should do this, but I'm.
Let it
All right.
let it be known.
All right, this is about to get a little bit racy, y'all. This is not my dirtiest. This ain't my
No, no,
rawest.
just
But
go with the flow. You good?
all right,
You good?
all right. This is actually a prompt that we got from the Get Down. Shout out to J. Rob and Poetic. Okay, so this is called "If My Bed Could Talk."
Mm.
I've owned 4 beds in my lifetime, but I'll give you a story of one. My bed could talk. Mm. It would talk about nights of touching myself and tasting remnants of our mixture off of my fingers, shifting my body to the cooler side just to roll back over, allowing the warmth of that spot to falsify the warmth of his body, from being impatient and longing for him to come home. Because of his promises in the dark kept at daytime rituals of eye contact, passion contained soft kisses and gentle brushes of skin. Mm, how I'd play till I come. My bed could talk. It would tell of secret rendezvous of the nights of moonlight would have menage a trois with our bodies bare, he and I. How it would dance across my skin, highlighting spots of entrances within that only his lips and hands have already been. Renewing his nature to rise and revisit over and over again. It would talk of the overindulgence of levels of scent and savoring flavors of taste, of mouth-watering mouthfuls of sweet and sour releases, and salty tears of passion's overwhelmment for that carnal lust fulfillment. Eye gazing, hard riding, cabin stabbing, ooh, the stories it would tell. Stories that held the secret formula of just how sloshy, how juicy, how wet an orifice can be made and get when properly stimulated by touching, kissing, sucking, deep throating, swallowing, and fucking. My bed could talk. The stories told would be of beautiful, sweet nothings whispered in the ears, finger licking and endless squirting, so divine. That's that piece.
Woo, woo, woo.
Woo! Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I'm sitting next to the open air
Woo!
vent. Jeez.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Adrian?
Ah, okay. You know, this was a prompt from your show, King and Queen's Quarters. And I thought y'all were calling it War or something. I forget what it was. But anyway, this piece is it's entitled, I write like I speak, and it's always from my heart. I come direct, like my friends expect from the start. So it's easy for me to recite what I write. I write about love and heartbreak. Sometimes I write a conscious piece when the injustices of the world make me so mad I can't find peace. Most of my friends use the best metaphors and words of love so beautiful I want to swoon. And my heart fills with wishes that deep down I fear may never come true. So I let it all hang out in poetry. It never fails me. My words are so succinct you can't misconstrue. Even when I'm feeling amorous or murderous. My words are downright dangerous, especially when I make your toes curl or make that rise in someone's Levi's. While violence is rearing its ugly head, I cannot help but write while tears hit the paper as I pray all will be all right. When I'm spiritual, the high I get. It makes me so happy I'm lyrical. As my friends say, I write like I speak. I may be direct, but I always come correct. And that's the end.
All right.
Wow, wow,
Yes, 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 yes.
wow.
Well,
Um, I really appreciate you guys coming. Thank you guys for joining King's Pop Up. Where could
Definitely
people find you
appreciate you.
guys?
you can find me on Facebook as Danielle Cheney. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as I'll Brighten Your Day 69. And definitely on Epiphany Radio. I'll give y'all the number. One time. The dial-in number is 319-527-6300. Epiphany has a show every night of the week. Every night of the week. You can call it anytime and be entertained, and you can engage us at any time. Y'all come on through. We ain't gonna bite you. Okay. Um, but the nights that I'm on there, mostly I co-host with my diva, Miss VIP, every Wednesday night at 9 in the erotic love zone, and every other Saturday on Poetic Therapy. Diva.
All right.
And I can be found on Facebook as Adrian Showell. I don't have an Instagram. I may have a TikTok somewhere in the life, but I don't use it. And like my diva said, I'm on Epiphany every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So you come and join us. You'll have fun. That's it.
King, any
Well,
final thoughts?
yeah, I want to thank you ladies for coming on tonight and expressing yourselves and bring yourselves to everybody's attention. I want to thank
Thank you.
the Let's Talk world out there for joining in tonight. And set the stage for you, cuz.
And with
Thank you
that,
for having me.
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
Just stay on. I want to say something to y'all. With that, I appreciate you guys for joining the show, and stay tuned. You never know what to expect never know what to expect of these young ladies, and check them out, and stay out their inboxes.
Please,
with that,
please. I'm gonna write about you. A poet will write about you. We'll put you on blast in a piece. Trust me.
We'll see you guys next week.
Peace, love, and poetry. The Poetry Corner.
The Poetry